This is Grapplers Talk.
What is up, fans of Grapplers Talk? This is Dave coming at you with another episode each and every week. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the podcast. And just around this time of year, we'd like to say happy holidays to everyone out there. And hopefully everyone's having a good year so far, reaching their goals and making sure that they're prioritizing jiu-jitsu somewhere in their life. Just thank you, everyone, for being a part of Grapplers Talk. This year has meant a lot to me and everyone involved in the show. And I just got to say from the bottom of my heart, man, it's been an honor bringing you guys some awesome interviews and getting to know the local and even some people outside of our local grappling scene and bringing you guys the best content out there. And I just want to say thank you for all the downloads. I get a lot of feedback on this show, and I just got to say for all the feedback I get, I appreciate it. I try to improve the show. I try to make it better and better each and every week for you. And I just want to make sure that you guys are enjoying the show, that, you know, we're asking the right questions. You know, we're trying to bring you some awesome interviews and to kind of make everyone look at jiu-jitsu and grappling in a different perspective. And I just got to say, just keep downloading the podcast. It means the world to me. We're going to keep bringing it to you each and every week, making sure that you guys have an awesome show to listen to. And right now, a couple of announcements. Grapplers Talk is doing a guest of the year, and we have narrowed down the top 3 downloaded podcasts. And it's episode 4 with Kalani Foster, episode, I believe, 6 with Rich Flores, and 17 with Phil Bong. And I just got to say, man, we've had a lot of feedback on the polls for that one. We've had tons of people voting for their favorite guest and commenting on that post. And keep voting. Time is still up. You can go and vote for your favorite guest of the year. I'm telling all the votes that we've gotten so far. We've gotten a ton of votes, and on that post specifically, I want to say go check it out, vote on it, and then comment in the comments who you like the most, okay? Check this out. I'm going to add all the comments, all the votes. We posted a story earlier in the week where we had results on that. We're going to add those to it as well. As many people can vote as they want to. I don't care. Comment all you want. And we will determine a guest of the year for the podcast. And I just got to say, it's been an honor bringing you these podcast episodes. I thought it'd be cool to kind of flashback to get my favorite parts of these episodes and just let you see some of my favorite highlights from talking to Kalani Foster, Rich Flores, and Phil Bong. And, you know, all those guys, man, I just got to say they're real good guys to me. And, you know, they all own gyms locally. And I just got to say, you know, from being a local gym owner, you know, shout out to you guys because I look up to you guys. You set the example for me getting into this game. And, you know, this is just a fun competition we wanted to do. You know, nothing, you know, crazy behind it. We just want to make sure we're having fun interacting with our guests and our fans of Grapplers Talk. And I just got to say for you 3 being on the best downloaded episodes, thank you so much. And it means the world having you guys on and getting to talk to you guys and getting to know you guys a little bit better. So thank you again. I thought it'd be cool to put my favorite highlights together. So I hope you enjoy these highlights from episode 4 with Kalani, episode 6 with Rich, and Phil Bong. Tell me a little bit about the Eskrima aspect and how'd you get into that and what made you go into that?
So Eskrima, I moved here around 8-9 years old, and I had always visited Stockton, but you know from Fremont. But I had visited South Stockton, where our family was from. So it was like a melting pot. You know, you had blacks, whites, Chinese, Mexicans. You had everybody, you know what I mean, out there. So I was like, oh, cool. You know, I'm moving to Stockton. I moved to North Side, like deep north, basically like Lodi. You know what I mean? So I'm like the only brown motherfucker that fucking speaks English. Everyone else is like ESL. So the white boys was just beating my ass. I was getting jumped all the time. You know what I mean? And I'd go to school, dark brown kid, next thing you know, the kids just come
Somebody
picking
giving
on me,
you
you
shit,
know.
huh?
So my dad was like, he would teach me boxing, but I was always kind of like a pussy. And my dad was like, you're gonna learn how to defend yourself from your granduncle. You know, the guy's bigger than you. You pick up a fucking stick. He's bigger than that. Pick up a rock. You know. And I started learning the Filipino martial arts through him. So Gilbert's my grandmother's brother.
Okay.
Yeah, on my mom's side.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they would train. They would come to my house, and I would train with them like 3 nights a week in my living room. Yeah,
That's
and I did
nice.
that for like, I did all the way to about 14 is when he passed away. I was like about 14, 15, and I was the only male at the time in our family that was still training consistently
Yeah.
because my dad's like just like drilled it in me, fucking training, kind of like how my boys are now. And I started teaching the classes for them.
Yeah.
As his he was starting to fade.
Yeah.
So he passed away. One thing led to another. Me and my dad got into it because I had been teaching for like a couple years now, but I never got any money.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we're gonna go to Japan and do the seminar. We're gonna make this much money. I'm gonna give you a couple $100. I'm like,
Couple $100.
motherfucker, you making like 20,000. Fool. I'm the one that's gonna do all the fucking work. You know what I
I'll
mean?
buy you a
another
Happy
country.
Meal on the way.
So I mean, I regret it now, but I was like, man, fuck that, I'm out. You know, so I just started teaching like family members. Phil Boncaron, he was like high school sweethearts with my sister-in-law back in the day, so I would train him. Tony Dominguez, close family friend, train him. My baby brother, and a couple other homeboys, and we would just do a scream at my apartment. You know, I was like probably like 18 when we got our first apartment, and that's when my club really first took off because
yeah.
my father still had his clubs and they would still do their thing, but I was kind of like on the outside just building my curriculum. And quite honestly, man, I kept doing this out of spite because I just want to show the motherfuckers fucking I'm the fucking man, bro, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I now that I look back, I wish it wasn't that like that. But you grow up, especially Filipino communities, they're stubborn.
Yeah.
I mean, Escrimadores, half of them don't even get along still. You know what I mean? And I think that's why the art's not growing how it should. Because it's a very good martial art.
Right.
I've always respected it because, like, it's one of those ones where you can just, if you're in danger, you could find a weapon anywhere and you know how to use it.
Rich, talk to me a little bit about the stuff that people don't hear about. So, with being an active competitor, with expanding, and how do you focus your time and deviate your time appropriately? You know, because you have to train, you have classes you have to run at certain times, but you also got to focus on business things and your competitive side.
Well, my wife handles all the business stuff. Like she, like I said, she lets everybody think I'm the boss, but I know, you know, she does all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, she manages our accounts, she manages people, you know what I mean? Like, I tell everybody, I just make sure there's enough people in the gym to make sure all the bills get paid, you know, so I don't take credit for any of that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
That's her. She does all of that type of stuff. You know, I knew in 2015 when I opened my gym that not that like my competitive career was over, but I knew it wasn't my main focus anymore.
Yeah.
Because when you become an instructor, it's the production of your students, you know, what you're producing, not yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, no, I don't want to be the black belt that, you know, wins every single match and my students lose every match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I told them I will lose every match for the rest of my life if that means you guys don't ever have to lose.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I want them to win.
Right.
When they're fighting, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous as an instructor because, man, like I keep it real.
You're
You know,
invested.
if I fucked up, I'll tell you straight up. You know, if you do a move that was illegal and I didn't know, it doesn't happen very often. But if I didn't know, like I'll give you one of my medals. Like here, like it doesn't mean anything to me. You know, but like when it comes to like the competitive part, like it's like, you know, my main focus is everybody else. You know, so if I'm in the gym and there's 9 of us, I'm sitting out. You know, so that everybody else can get their work in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've been training long enough that, you know, I know what I need to do.
Right.
I know what I need to work on. If I'm shitty at something, it's because I'm neglecting it myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know,
You can make your own corrections, right?
I can make my own corrections. And, you know, like I said, Len and I got, you know, Zach Ellis. I don't know if you guys know him. He trains with us now. He's a black belt. He got his black belt from Tom Knox out in Fresno.
Okay.
Tom Knox. That's an old name. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah. So he comes around, like everybody, like I said, everybody sees me and they're like, "Man, you're the best," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "You guys want to see me get my ass kicked? Come in on Friday. Zach is gonna beat me around the gym, you know what I mean, and remind me like, hey, you need to work on this, or you need to do that, you need to do this, you know." But for the most part, man, the mindset for myself as a competitor, obviously, I want to win.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I stole the Billy Bean line from, you know, I hate losing more than I want to win.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it drives me nuts. But at the end of the day, like my main focus is the gym's growth, and you know, if I could do anything, you know, to help a competitor, you know, or a student, I do that first.
Yeah.
Outside of jiu-jitsu and grappling, what are some of the things you enjoy most? Like hobbies or things you like to do? Or something
You said you
somebody may
rap,
not
right?
know about you.
We're gonna get a
right?
flow
Used
right
to
now,
rap.
right?
Yeah, I used to rap back in the day. Shout out to Delegation. Yeah, my rap name back then was X-Cal.
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 E-X-C-A-L. The trip. Just a little.
How'd you come up with
Yankee.
that?
It was weird, you know. I used to rap back in like like in high school,
Yeah.
and then a little bit out of high school, and then it was this trip. I went from Excalibur the Rude. I don't even know, man. That sounds so crazy. And I was like, this is so ridiculous. Sounds so fucking stupid. I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna shorten this shit. I'm gonna just be X-Cal.
Yeah.
But we came out with a couple of albums.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
That's funny.
Our crew was called Delegation.
Yeah.
We even ended up in you guys remember the Source magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah, the Source magazine. We had like a little insert over there, and it said like, hey, we were like the West Coast Wu-Tang.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's funny.
it was conscious rap, you know. I kind of rapped a little more simple, you know, try not to use, you know, so many big words because then you can't understand me. But, you know, I had a bunch of guys on in the group that would rap, and they use all kinds
Like
of
the
big,
sources,
Yeah,
huh,
man.
dude?
I was like, man, I don't even understand the shit you're saying. That
You're
shit's
like,
crazy.
pause that
Yeah, but it-
dictionary.
Sounds dope though. It sounds dope though.
Huh,
That's
sounded
pretty
good.
tight. So rapping, huh?
Yeah, rapping. You know, I think I fell in love with jiu-jitsu because back then I used to skate.
Okay.
I used to skateboard. So you know, it was like one of those like addictions. Like when I used to skateboard, I would learn a trick, and then you know, the same thing with jiu-jitsu. It's like
Yeah.
then I would learn a move, and I think that kind of translated. You know,
I like
that
that,
way.
yeah. And not only that, the punishment you take with your body, you know, it's the same thing. You get fucked up on a skateboard, you
Oh,
get
yeah,
fucked up
for
in
sure.
jiu-jitsu.
No, I feel like skateboarding is a little rougher, bro, because it's the
Yeah.
thing where like there's no soft landing.
Yeah, I
You
won't ride
can
one.
land on a mat or a person in jiu-jitsu, but man, dude,
Yeah.
I tried skateboarding when I was in high school. I broke about 4 bones and quit.
Yeah.
I think my dad said the hospital bills are getting too high. But yeah, that's
Time to
badass
sell your
skateboarding, man.
skateboard.
yeah, skateboarding was crazy. Back in the day, me and I'd actually go skateboarding, and then you know, Kalani would go rollerblading, and we'd be like late night.
Yeah,
It'd
he
be like two.
rollerblades.
It'd be like 2 in the morning, and we'd be
Like at a skate park.
now we'd just be going all over town and be like, hey, let's go to this spot or let's go to this spot. Yeah, it was crazy.
Damn, just striking it all over,
Striking
huh?
all over, man. It was pretty wild.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this podcast of the Guest of the Year highlights. And don't forget to vote for Guest of the Year. Check them out. Our Instagram post. Go put your vote in. Let your voice be heard. And this is Dave with Grapplers Talk. And we are
This is Grapplers Talk.